New Year and Happy Fort Report. I'm Michelle Gordon with the Fort Bliss Public Affairs Office. In this edition, the Garrison's David Poe was with the 2019 Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl teams when they visited Fort Bliss for a great tour, December the 27th. Next, we'll talk to Captain Joe Strumko with the OSJA. He has the details on the tax center, which will be open for business on West Fort Bliss later this month. After that, we'll shoot up to Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington, for an insider look on what it takes to be a Security Force Assistance Brigade soldier. And last, we'll round out with Dave Poe again, as he sat in on a special Army Community Service class on what to expect when you're expecting. That's your lineup. We're throwing deep. See you in the end zone.
America's premier warfighting team got a chance to meet two of college football's best teams when student athletes and staff from Florida State University and Arizona State University visited Fort Bliss December 27th. The Sun Devils and the Seminoles were in town to play in the 86th annual Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Teams from the Pac-12 Conference versus Atlantic Coast Conference matchup visit Fort Bliss annually as part of their bowl experience as the Sun City opens their arms for college football programs tapped to play in the historic bowl. During their visit, players got a chance to experience a day in the life of a U.S. Army soldier by suiting up at Bliss's state-of-the-art simulation centers and also by getting up close and personal with Army hardware and the soldiers who maintain and operate that equipment every day in defense of our nation. The teams and soldiers dined together in style later that evening, forging friendships to last well into the new year. Reporting from Fort Bliss, Texas, aka Sun Bowl Central, I'm David Poe.
I'm Captain Joe Strumko, officer in charge of the Fort Bliss Tax Center. Here at the Fort Bliss Tax Center, we prepare state and federal returns completely free of charge. We will begin scheduling appointments on the 21st of January, and we will be open from January 22nd to April 17th, 2020. In order to schedule an appointment or find out more information, please call our number 915-568-1040 or else visit our website or Facebook page at Fort Bliss Tax Center.
Here around people who are highly motivated and people who have the idea of that concept of, hey, I want to accomplish this mission is very important to me.
So this course is a 3-day course, beginning with day 0. Day 0, the candidates in process conduct an APFT, and the intent of the APFT is to meet the SFAB standard of 240. That proceeds into day 1, which consists of certain team events, a combination of physical, mental. You have exams that test soldier knowledge within your MOS, and then it proceeds into day 3, which is a ruck march. Immediately after the ruck march, you conduct cadre interviews to draw out certain attributes within the candidates. And then the final day is selection board. Essentially, it's a job interview with SFAB command teams and selects them for assignment to an SFAB.
Approximately a dozen Fort Bliss soldiers returned to boot camp in January. There were no marksmanship tests or ruck marches, but the curriculum was just as challenging and valuable. Fort Bliss Army Community Services New Parent Support Program held their bi-monthly Baby Boot Camp class January 8th. Nurses and healthcare professionals briefed soldiers and those who are expecting on the facts and the myths about pregnancy, childbirth, and caring for newborns up until 6 months of age, as well as the many services available to them while stationed here in the borderland. Danielle Robertson, an NPSP home visitor and class instructor, said Baby Boot Camp has value because the curriculum evolves just as child care research evolves.
You know, we are evolutionaries. Information is always changing. We learn something new every day, probably a little bit more. So like I said, things is always changing. There's different information from where it is 10 years from now, from like the day to day. So it's always changing. So we always try to incorporate that in our classes. We do our research, definitely evidence-based.
The class is open to all soldiers and family members who are expecting. NPSP offers support for new parents and experienced parents looking to learn more, all free of charge. For details, visit bliss.armymwr.com/programs and click on Family Advocacy Program. Reporting from Fort Bliss, Texas, I'm David Poe.
That's your Fort Report. On behalf of the Fort Bliss Public Affairs Office, thanks for watching. See you next time.